If you really want this, if there is a will, there is a way. I always believed in this. So if you're really passionate about this, I think there is nothing that you cannot achieve. Most parents would disagree to send their children to go to another continent, another world, another country at the age of 16, 17. One great example of this would be letting me go and at such a young age finish my school in the United States. I always felt like in the technology classrooms or in the IT courses, the share of women and girls were much lower. Now we can see more and more girls and women in the IT field as well, especially in our country. Young women are very passionate about IT. So I can say that I lived one of the historical moments of my life. On June 30th, I got awarded by the Kelajak bunyodkori reward. My name is Gulasal Bo. I was born in Qashqadaryo region of Uzbekistan. So I'm 20 years old right now, and I have finished my high school in Qashqadaryo, and I continued my school in the USA, New York. And after coming back to Uzbekistan, I got enrolled at Westminster University in Tashkent. Right now, I'm a third-year computer science student. Okay, I think for all of the things that I have achieved, for example, IELTS 9 or leading international project, I think it's mostly the role of my parents. They have been always pushing me forward to achieve more than what I am capable of. And without their support, I don't think I would be able to do that. One great example of this would be letting me go and at such a young age finish my school in the United States. I think most parents would say disagree to send their children to go to another continent, another world, another country at the age of 16, 17. So I'm very grateful for my parents for helping me to achieve this. And of course, whatever, let's say, available, the opportunities that are available in our country also push me forward all the time. There are so many countless, I would say, limitless chances in our country, and not using them, not seizing the opportunity would be a waste of talent. So I always put myself a goal that every time there is a one opportunity, I should seize this all the time. I should take this opportunity. So this is how, let's say, I keep the motivation. Of course, it requires a lot of hard work, a lot of discipline. But I think if you really want this, because there is a proverb that says, if there is a will, there is a way. I always believed in this. So if you're really passionate about this, I think there is nothing that you cannot achieve. So all of the achievements, all of the reasons behind these things, I think they are the, first of all, strong desire and determination to do so. All started when I was 15 years old. I first got my first scholarship to the United States by the TechGirls International Exchange Program. It's sponsored by the US Embassy, and it accepts 4 students, 4 girls from 36 countries around the world. So during the TechGirls program, I got a chance to study at Virginia Tech University in the USA. So I got more than 100 hours of STEM education there. And one of the requirements of that program was to return to their home country and to launch a social technological program once the participants return to their home countries. And my project was called Brave Coders. During the Brave Coders program, it's like a 3-week boot camp. So it happened in Qashqadaryo region. Participants of this bootcamp developed a mobile application to solve the ecological problems and to educate people about the ecological problems. It was a very successful program, at least in that region, with more than 90 participants. So during the bootcamp, they had a chance to improve their IT skills and their programming skills. And after a year, in 2022, during the 8th of March celebration, I got awarded with the Outstanding Project Award by the organization called Legacy International. So Legacy International, it's an organization that supports social and technological startups or projects. So I was very grateful to receive that award, and of course the cash prize that's attached to this prize. So I think that was my first step as a high school student towards the field of IT. And then I realized that this field is, let's say, has a bright future, and actually saw myself in this field. After the Brave Coders project, I really want to have a career, to pursue a career in IT field. And there are so many reasons for this. First of all, the main reason was the share of women in this field. I always felt like in the technology classrooms or in the, let's say, IT courses, the share of women and girls were much lower, like a few years ago, but currently the situation has changed. We can see more and more girls and women in the IT field as well, especially in our country. Young women are very passionate about IT, and then we can see a lot of successful young people in this field. So for this reason, I got really interested in the computer science, in the programming field, in the programming section of this. But I was very far away from the cybersecurity field until I participated in one hackathon called Cyber Start America. So in that hackathon, I represented my high school. By the way, I studied at West Rondequoit High School in Rochester, New York. So I was the only student representing the whole school, let's say the whole district. I cannot say that I was very successful in this hackathon, but I'm sure that I learned a lot about the cybersecurity field, etc. And then this is how I got really interested in this field. So after coming back to Uzbekistan, I started doing some research in this field. What kind of problems, what kind of challenges do our population face in terms of cybersecurity? And I found out that one of the most common ones is the financial fraud. A lot of people in our country suffer from online financial fraud, and they are losing their money. So by illegal withdrawal of money from their banking accounts or banking cards, etc. Another challenge that people face in our country in the cybersecurity field is the malicious files on Telegram or on such social media websites. A lot of people's devices, like laptops, computers, or even mobile phones, get infected by such viruses. Then I set myself a goal to combat against these problems. That's why I applied to the computer science major at Westminster University in Tashkent. And currently I'm focusing on the cybersecurity field. And I can say that these days we are working on several projects. One of the would-be projects is creating the national cybersecurity team in Uzbekistan. Currently, we are at the initial stage of this project, and hopefully soon I'll be back with some great news to share on this project as well. And this project is supported by the Cyber University in Tashkent, Youth Affairs of Uzbekistan. So, but this project is gonna be very sustainable in long term, and one of the long-lasting goals of this project would be to create an elite cybersecurity national team, and in the future even create a cyber army, because this is very important in the modern age where we have AI integrating with this cybersecurity field, or so we have to prevent such, let's say, threats from happening in the future. And I think this project will lay the foundation to the cybersecurity team or the development of this field in our country. And I'm very glad to be part of this project. So I can say that I lived one of the historical moments of my life, because on June 30th, I got awarded by the Kelajak bunyodkori reward by Mr. President himself. It was such a great, let's say, acknowledgement of my small contribution and as a young person in Uzbekistan, and I'm very grateful to receive this medal. I can say that, as I said before, we have limitless opportunities. The only thing we need to do is just to use this opportunity, and so that we can also get nominated for such awards and make our contribution in our country. But this kind of acknowledgement is, I think, only available in our country to the extent that we can see today, because in most countries where there is a war going or some kind of political turmoil going on, we are one of the luckiest people because we live in a peaceful, very developing country. So I think this is to our happens, and I'm very proud of being one of the young members of this country. I was telling the story of going to the USA to finish my high school, and after coming back to Uzbekistan, apart from Brave Coders, I also was involved in some, social projects. One of them is the self-defense program by the US Embassy in Tashkent. And during this program, I learned a lot about the problems of women and girls in our country. And having laid the foundations, this program, this self-defense program, helped me to go beyond my boundaries one more time. So after this project, I was nominated for a tech camp to participate in the city of Astana in Kazakhstan. During this tech camp, I got a chance to exchange ideas with some of the, let's say, tech leaders, especially women in the tech field. And I was very excited about the workshops that we had as well in Astana. I really enjoyed the workshops in Astana as well. And after coming back to Uzbekistan, I was kind of involved in some environmental projects in my region, Qashqadaryo. So about the deforestation in such areas and how technology can help us solve environmental problems. And in order to exchange more ideas on such projects, I won a scholarship for the conference at Harvard. It's called HPR. So this September, I have participated in the United Nations conference as a part of the Uzbek delegation. And I'm very proud that I represented my country at a global stage one more time. Women have special responsibilities in front of their families or in front of society, but I'm sure that women are capable of everything. So I would highly encourage girls and women in our country to never give up, even though the situation feels a little bit difficult, a little bit challenging. So I can kind of tell a story. So this story has motivated me for such a long year, and it still does. So the story is about a frog who fell into a hole, and the frog couldn't get out of that hole. So the frog started digging the hole so that he can make his way out of the dig, let's say. I think one of the best motivational stories I've ever heard in my life. And I always remember that there is actually no way back. We should all the time move forward and, let's say, metaphorically navigate our way out of that hole, whatever hole we are in. So success is like an iceberg, you know. So a lot of people see the good sides, the beautiful sides of this, but there's actually the, let's say, downside that made you, let's say, feel like giving up sometimes, or it required a lot of hard work, required a lot of nerves sometimes. So I feel like women in our country is not underrepresented. So my final advice to young people, especially my peers, would be, again, just working hard towards our dreams, and all the time keep in mind that we have to contribute to our country, because our country has provided us with lots of opportunities and limitless, let's say, chances to take. So we should just seize one of them and then keep moving forward.